want to watch this again, feel free to just check out our website because a copy of this is going to be recorded and posted on the website for anybody who maybe that that might have missed, or if you want to catch some information again. So we have a quick slideshow we're going to be presenting during this, and at the end, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer anything that you might have. And also, if you don't want to say it out loud, you can type it in the chat, either to everyone or just to me, or to Long Island Surge, and we'll be sure to answer you. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Rob. I'm one of the two directors for Long Island Surge. Chris Harkins is the other director. He's not joining us tonight, but he sends his best as we get this new program for Surge up and running. This is called our middle school program, and the last few years with Surge, this age group has kind of been grown pretty quickly. So we're trying to create some programming to meet the needs of people here in Nassau County for our younger players who are looking to get into the volleyball scene. So Jamie, if you wouldn't mind starting the presentation, and then I'll just say next when we're ready to move to the next slide. Great. Actually, you're on the last slide there. If you want to exit and go back to the first slide, that's the spoiler alert. That's our email address. There we go. All right, great. So welcome everybody again. My name is Rob. I'm one of the two directors. I'm also a coach from time to time. Typically, I pop in and out of practices throughout the winter and spring seasons. And our middle school program is getting set to get started here in just a couple of weeks. If you're interested in participating, the registration is going to open at the end of this meeting. So go ahead, Jamie, you can go to the next slide. All right, that's our website. I'm sure most of you know by now, lisurgevolleyball.com. And again, this is where we'll be posting at the end. Go ahead, Jamie. All right, so a little bit about our program. We are now in our 7th year. Primarily, we started as just a club travel program. We now run beach, we run middle school, we run indoors, we run clinics. We basically are going 52 weeks a year in and around Nassau County primarily. For this program coming up for the middle school, we're going to be running in 2 locations in both Oceanside and LIU Post. Go ahead, James. All right, so what makes Surge different from other clubs? We kind of stress with our coaches, and we hire coaches to teach the game the right way. We want enthusiastic coaches. We want coaches that keep it light and fun, but also teach the fundamentals with high repetition, and high energy type drills. So our middle school program is going to focus on that. We're going to teach the players how to play the game the right way. Our emphasis with Surge is how to pass correctly, how to serve correctly, and push players maybe a little bit out of their comfort zone to get a little bit better and do things a little bit more technically sound, while still learning the right way for the game and having fun. And as we build their confidence growing through the program. Go ahead, Jamie, you can go to the next slide. So here are the dates for the middle school program. So basically the model for this is going to be a mini club. So I know a lot of players eventually graduate to the club level where we go, 6 months or so with one team. The middle school program, we tend to have a lot of players that either are still multi-sport athletes that haven't chosen volleyball as their priority, or players that maybe want to just try it and see how much they like it and see if it's something they want to stick with. So the middle school program was kind of born out of that, for those type of players who want to give it a try, that don't want to commit to a full maybe half-year season. But it's going to be modeled just like our travel club season. So we're going to have 2 practices a week, and we're going to run 2 mini seasons the length of our club season. So our first season, which this meeting and registration will open, is going to run November 7th to January 15th. Now, I know some of the literature said November 8th. That's a Tuesday. It's going to start the Monday of that week, which is November 7th. There are no school holidays between November and the Christmas break. Once Christmas break hits, we are not going to have practice. And then when Christmas break is over, we're going to resume practices until the week ending on January 15th. So January 15th is a weekend. And we're going to hope to get some games in, if not that weekend, pretty close, as kind of like a culminating event for the season. So again, we're going to have 2 practices a week. The times will be 6:30 to 8 p.m. And that's either at LIU or Oceanside. It's going to be the same days of the week and the same times. We have about 20 spots available at LIU, and we have about 30 spots available at Oceanside. Once we close out, we are going to have to close out because we don't have, unlimited space in the gym. We're going to make sure we have a good player coach ratio. So we have 20 spots at LIU and we have 30 spots in Oceanside. This is for both boys and girls. This is open for. Go ahead. You can go to the next slide. So real fast, season 2, we're going to open this registration sometime in December. We'll send out an email blast when we're getting close to it. But this is going to basically start as soon as season 1 ends, starting practice on January 18th. Now that week is Martin Luther King week, so we're not going to have a Monday practice, but Wednesday of that week will start the next season. And again, it will culminate around April 2nd, which is the final weekend of our travel club season, which will be the final weekend for our middle school program as well. The practices will be the same days and times, also at Oceanside at LIU. And again, we'll have about the same capacity to run those teams. Go ahead, Jamie. Go to the next slide. All right. So like I said, professional coaching, 2 practices a week. Anytime the schools are not in session, we do not practice. So Martin Luther King Day, Thanksgiving wouldn't apply here, Christmas break, February break if you stay on for the second season. We will not run practices if schools are not. So a lot of times we have families, well, we have vacation that week. We get it. We're not going to even hold practices that week. We're going to give every player a t-shirt jersey. So players are going to provide their own black spandex shorts for girls, or boys. Any plain black shorts is fine for boys. And our model is going to include, again, it's going to be kind of like a mini club season. We're going to have 3 weekend scrimmages and probably 1 tournament. Now, this is all contingent on availability. The tournament that we plan on putting the players in will be one that we host as LI Surge. So the location that we host that tournament is at LIU Post, but that would be on a weekend. Typically, it's about a half-day program. It starts like around 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're done at about mid-afternoon. The scrimmage days, we're going to, depending on how many teams are running, we're either going to run an in-house kind of scrimmage, so like maybe 3 or 4 teams playing each other. If we don't run that many teams, we're going to invite other clubs who have teams similar age to come down for like a scrimmage. Parents will be able to watch both the scrimmages and the tournaments. And the scrimmages will probably take place in Oceanside. Again, depending on availability, or at LIU Post. This is a no-cut program, so we're not having a tryout. This is going to be first come, first serve. And like I said before, registration is going to open at the end of this meeting. So parents are probably curious, well, what team is my player going to be on? The model we're going to do is something called the academy model. So basically, the players are going to come down to practices. Coaches are going to, evaluate, see which players are weaker or stronger. And then we're going to put out in our app. So with part of the Sports Engine website, where you would register for this program, there's an app called Sports Engine. And basically this will be like a team in the app. So the coaches will put out, all right, we have a scrimmage on Saturday in December, pick a day, who is available. And everybody who's available to come out of that group, we will make teams. Again, we're going to try to model it after our travel program. We're going to try to get the players in some type of position. Typically we have a setter. Typically we have front row, back row players to make sure we have even strength teams. We're not going to necessarily do a 1s, a 2s, a 3s, and so on. We're going to try and keep them as even strength as possible to make the scrimmages more competitive. Jamie, you can go to the next slide. So just so you know, and this kind of confuses a lot of parents, the programs that we offer, Premier is our most commitment program with Surge. That starts as early as 8th grade, and that's overnight tournaments. It's a half-year program. Eventually, we'd like most players to get up to that level, but kind of moving down. The next level is Travel Club, which, believe it or not, middle school players are eligible for. It's a medium commitment. It starts at age 12. That goes a full 6 months, and we already had our tryouts for this upcoming year for those age groups. Our boys programs, typically we run 16, 17, and 18. This year we have a 14, 15s program. The underlying portion here is what this meeting is about. This is our middle school program. This is going to be our feeder programs to these other kind of more commitment levels. But again, it's for those players who maybe are too busy or want to try it, and it's only a half-year commitment. And then if this even sounds too intense and you wanted something a little bit less um, competitive, we have our Waves program, which we ran for the first time this spring. We're planning on running again starting in April of 2023, and that's going to be for beginners. Again, it's a team atmosphere. We place you on teams, and it's kind of a little bit of instruction, a little bit of competition. The Waves program is only one night a week, though, whereas the middle school program is 2 nights a week. Go ahead, Jamie. You can go to the next slide. All right. So depending on which tournaments we do, there may be some age definition things. You can go right to the next slide here. We have this posted on our website. This is good to just kind of browse through what age your child would be should they do any travel events. So again, we can't have older players playing in younger tournaments. So what you would do is you'd find your birth month here from the player's birth month, and that puts you in either anywhere from under 8 to under 18. So for example, I'll use the one in the upper left corner. If a player was born in July of 2003, that would make them an 18 and under. So you would this chart again is published by USAV Volleyball, and it's also on our website if you want to look. This is not something you'll necessarily need for this program, but it's something to definitely familiarize yourself with. A lot of times we get parents to say, "Well, why is she on a team with younger age groups?" And the answer is that's how USA Volleyball does it. They basically cut every grade in half, where the oldest kids in the grade play in an older level and the younger kids in each grade go to the younger level. It's not by the same cutoff as the schools would do necessarily. So this is just, again, something to familiarize yourself with. Go ahead, Jamie, you can do the next slide. Go ahead, you can go one more. That's just a little bit more explanation. And that's pretty much it. So we're looking to get started here in just a couple weeks on November 7th. So just about 3 weeks here. Registration is going to open at the end of this. As soon as I hang up here, I'm going to go to the website and hit the enable button, and you'll be ready to register. The tuition cost is $600 for the season. I didn't have a slide about that. And that includes everything, the coaching, the tournaments. There's no like hidden fees or, oh, by the way, you owe this for later. That's going to be it. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have. If you have any questions, you can feel free to type it in the chat. You can email lisurgevolleyball@gmail.com, myself or Jamie. We get back pretty quick within a day or so. And that's it. If you have any questions and you want to chime in, feel free to do so. If you feel like you got good enough information, thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you, in one of our future programs. I just have one question here from Valerie. If you can't make Monday or Wednesday, there's no other day to attend training. So if you can't make a day, I mean, you can commit to it. We're not gonna. It's not a program where attendance is going to be mandatory. We understand things come up, but that's something you got to take into consideration should you decide to join. In Oceanside, the trainings are held at one of the elementary schools. I believe we're going to be at School 8, which I don't have the address offhand. I know that the address is on our website, but that's where it's going to be. The next question, is there a possibility to attend on another day if my daughter misses a session? Again, we're only running Monday, Wednesday nights. So there's no other day where, we can get in for another practice. We're pretty packed to the gills with our travel club season, our Ripples program, which is our little kids, and this program. The jerseys are included in the cost, yes. So that was from Nikia. Yes, everything is included in the cost. Yes, we can offer a payment plan. Just email lisurgevolleyball and we'll go through the details of that for you. Scrimmages are 3 in total for the season. Yes, so there'll be three scrimmages and 1 tournament. If for whatever reason we can't get it in, there'll be an equivalent amount of a game. So scrimmages will probably be 2 or 3 matches, I guess, versus different teams. Tournaments might be multiple sets versus many teams with the possibility of like a semifinals and a finals. It's like a little bit longer of a day, a tournament. Scrimmages would probably be quick in the afternoon, a couple hours tops. Do you have only one batch like after 8:30 Wednesday? I think what you're asking is if we're running after 8:30 p.m. It's tough with this age to go later than 8:30 p.m. just from my experience. Usually parents don't want to have this age group stay out that late. So right now we do not have a plan to go after 8:30 p.m. Do we get to select our preferred location when you registration? Yes. When you go into the registration, it's going to say which teams you prefer. It's going to be LIU will be one choice, Oceanside will be another choice, and you can just select which one It is set to a limit how many can do for each one. So 600, is that for both sessions? No, that's just going to be for the 3 months for the first session, the $600. I think I got to everybody's question. I was trying to go fast there. I apologize. Earlier sessions in the night, no, we don't get the gyms in Oceanside until 6:30 p.m. So that was from Samara. 6:30 or 8:30? No, it's going to be a 6:30 to 8, and that is the only choice. That is the only time we are running this. What methods of payment? I think we accept every kind of credit card on the website. Registration will open on the website as soon as we are done with this meeting. It's about 9 weeks. Yes. I want to say it's 19 practices. I'm looking at my calendar really fast. We're not going over Christmas break, so that cuts off a little bit. So it's starting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks of practices is correct. Yes. Oceanside is going to be at School 8 is going to be the location. But when you register, that will have all that information for you. It's a 90-minute practice, Chris, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Scrimmages will be on the weekends, yes. Right now, that's our tentative schedule. You know, if we have people that want to scrimmage in one of the nights as a practice, that's something we could definitely do also. Typically, that's not going to be something where we would need jerseys for. That might just be something the coaches want to run. But if we do something like that during a practice, we probably would invite parents to come watch if you wanted to do that. Sure. The email address is lisurgevolleyball@gmail.com. I'm going to type it into the chat. It's also on our website if you lose this or you forget. Sarah, I would just double check your schedule before you do that. It's going to be tough if you take one of these spots. From the amount of emails we've been getting, I have a feeling these spots are going to be coveted. So if you take a spot and make sure it's something that you can attend, because I don't think it'd be right or fair if, you take it and then you can't make it, or, so make sure this is something that you want to commit to. Correct. Teams are only for scrimmages. All the players will be practicing together. Yes, thank you, Jamie. Jamie just posted the email address and the website. Okay, that's all I have. If you are good, thank you again for coming. The scrimmages are going to be Saturdays most likely. Yeah, if it's Oceanside, it has to be Saturday. They're not open on Sundays. If it's LIU, it could be either day. We're still kind of working out trying to finalize that schedule this week. When you register, payment is done at the same time. Yes. The week of Thanksgiving, yes, Monday and Wednesday we would have trainings of that week. Yes, registration is just for the first session. We are going to open the second session in December sometime. Again, we will send out an email blast when that happens. Just like you got the email for the link today, same way we will let you know when that registration is going to be open.
Rob, I just got a question.
Sure.
If you want to set up a payment plan for the middle school program, how do I do that?
just email LI Surge Volleyball and we'll go over the details with you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. I think we're kind of winding down here. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop us an email. It's very nice to see you. I hope we see you soon. If this is not a program that you feel is for you, please stay subscribed on the website. We send out things for all sorts of trainings and clinics. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.